So this is simply about what is without anything else. What is, this is what is. A simple happening, which is seemingly free of time and space, free of cause and effect, free of separation and distance, it would seem. Can appear as distance and separation, but what seems to be is immediacy. Immediacy seems to be what's happening. Nothing else other than the simple thisness. Nothing else other than that, so no separation from that, no distance from that. If this is simply what's happening and all that's happening, then there's nothing else other than this. There's no distance from this to this, between this. There's no separation between this and something else, if this is simply all there is. No distance, no separation, no relation. Only what's happening in immediacy. It's spontaneous. It's not going anywhere or coming from anywhere in any linear sense or any other sense, really. So it's just total, immediate spontaneity. It's sort of chaos in a way. And anything can appear. This isness can appear as anything, such as sensations or thoughts, feelings, memories, ideas, behavior, colors, nature can appear as whatever is happening at all. But it's not really limited by time or space. Time is just simply the appearance of memories and thoughts, it would seem. Association, associating a video or something else with a before, associating a thought or a story with a before and an after. But that's just this too. That's just timelessly this too. And what can also seem to happen is a sense of here, a sense of being here and not there. And that too is timelessly and immediately and spontaneously appearing to happen. But what is suggested and proposed is that that is not a reality. It's not a fundamental reality. The sense of being here, being localized, being positioned in space and time. It is space and time, really. That illusion of being here is not really being positioned in space. It is the appearance of space in a way. The sense of being here, by definition, implies an over there somewhere or an everywhere else. And that is a separate kind of appearance, which has no real substance whatsoever. And being insubstantial, there's no sense that that is needing anything really or becoming anything, that it's wrong or right, that it's a mistake. It's just like anything else. It's like planets and nature or the elements, the appearance of thoughts and sensations. The sense of being here is also just what's appearing to happen for no real reason. And there can be a sense of that being a problem. And that is a separate reality that would seem to feel like there's a dis-ease with the way a separate experience is happening. That if I'm a person, I'm here, I'm feeling real and localized and identified as a someone or a something. Maybe in my dream of being a real person with free will and choice, with control, I can meaningfully move in a direction and make this better somehow. And that's the dream of direction, the direction of going in some way or another through time and space, going this way and that way, choosing how to navigate all of that. The sense of direction is a limitation, and it's totally illusory. Never really going anywhere, never really becoming anything, never really improving or impressing. There's no one in that already. This is simple exposure that there is no one at the center of anything or any body. There is actually no real center. So the dream of personhood would seem to be an illusory swirling vortex of all of these stories and thoughts and associations and identifications, at the center of which is absolutely nothing and no one. And all of that stuff, too, is also completely insubstantial, not necessarily illusory. Memories and thoughts, ideas perhaps appearing, but not really happening in the way in which they might seem to be felt as real viscerally. That too is just emptiness, being memories and thoughts. It's all impersonal already. All of this is impersonal. It's impersonal boundlessness in a way, just boundlessness being thoughts and memories, ideas, and whatever else. So that isn't some sort of predicament that needs to be figured out. Nothing is. There just is already timelessly, freely what's appearing to happen for no one and no reason. This is already complete, timelessly so. Completion, wholeness, freedom without limitation, freedom without direction, freedom without time and space. So freedom already being everything that's happening. Freedom stripped of all of its connotations too. So freedom from ideas about freedom, freedom from any associated connotations that could possibly be applied to that, any positive or negative things. So that's just freedom too, appearing as ideas and thoughts about what freedom is. But really, freedom is nothing. It's not a thing. There's no way of labeling or defining it really. As soon as it's labeled or defined, it would seem to be limited and confined and therefore not free. So that's just freedom appearing as confinement too. This is a freedom that's so boundless that it doesn't even exist in relation to confinement or restraint or restriction. Everything is this unconditional, boundless freedom, energetically, all there is, as it is. A side.
How are you, Alexis?
Not too bad. Quite tired.
Retired.
Yeah,
But
but
nothing serious.
seemingly recovering.
Okay, that's good. I'll recover soon. I had a question, but I can only remember half of it. I can't remember the full question. Like I was trying to remember about about something came up and there was when there is no me. Well, not when because they already know me, but like when there's no me, is the tree still a tree? And I can't remember the other part to it.
So there's no when. I mean, when there's no me, there's no when.
There's no one, yeah.
There's just no when. There's no one. There's just what's happening already. It's not different or similar because there's no comparison or separation. So there's no comparing anything when there is just what's happening.
Yeah.
Tree is just tree in a way. It's not an object though. There's no objects. There's no it. There's no labels. There's just what's happening, which could appear as label and it could appear as tree, but there's it's just nothing is objectified really. Yeah, the dream is that there's objects and
Yeah.
subjects.
I was thinking like the me has an added value to the tree or an object, any like subject object thing.
Mm.
But there isn't there isn't a value not that it's like no value, but there isn't a should be value or a shouldn't be a value kind of thing. Eh,
There's no real value to anything when everything is nothing and it's already complete. And there's nothing giving value to anything else. There's just what's happening. So there's no sense that anything is valuable or invaluable or unvaluable. It's just what's happening. No, nothing is special or not special. It just is what it is.
yeah,
So nothing is important and sacred and spiritual or significant. And
yeah,
nothing is, you know, not any of those things either. It just is what it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was like. There's no subject to say either way, one way or the other.
Yeah, there's no relationship. So
Yeah,
a so-called tree is not related to nothingness.
yeah,
So value in that sense requires relationship. Yeah. I
yeah,
value to this. There's no I giving value to anything, so there's no value really. There's no significance or substance.
yeah,
It doesn't need value either, of course. Nothing needs value really. A dream needs value. There's a dream that seems to be happening that needs to give value and meaning to everything, which is also of no value whatsoever.
yeah, yeah. That's a fulfillment kind of thing. The me wants to give it as something,
Yeah, to
something
worship it or
extra.
to turn it into something meaningful, to apply a story to the tree and how the tree, once had a yogi sitting underneath it that meditated for
Yeah,
50 days and now we all worship the tree and you know there,
yeah,
there isn't any need for any of this when there is no one relating to anything. Yeah.
yeah,
So in a way, yes, the dream part of the dream is giving value to this and that and the other.
yeah. Make it more good for you or something like that. More good.
Seems to, yeah, because
Yeah,
it always seems like it always seems like this just isn't good enough somehow. So
yeah,
I'll make it good enough with a story about value.
yeah. That's why when it's always like said, you never me can't desire this or me can't believe in this or me can never want this
No,
because me would always want something like it is what already is.
right.
This is set for already what is. But
Yeah.
me doesn't want this because me wants an added value to it.
This can't be wanted because this isn't a thing. Only
Yeah,
things seem to be wanted.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
this isn't a thing to be wanted. That's why no one wants this, because this isn't a thing to be wanted.
something that could, yeah, cannot
It's
be.
already everything.
Uh,
You can't want or have what's happening. It's just what's happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if wanting is what's happening, then that's what's happening.
Yeah,
That's this.
I can say that. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Okay.
My favorite is the Buddha's tooth. What do you mean by that, Maureen? I'm not sure if I know of this anecdote.
In terms of a friend just recently came back from a deep dive into India and even though he's not a Buddhist, the Buddhist tooth was huge there in relationship to, he did a lot of stuff related to just seeing various relics and things associated with Buddha. And many folks there say they have Buddhist tooth, the one tooth.
Oh, no.
And it was very sweet. He sent pictures of the Buddhist tooth. And I mean, it's just like everything that, yeah, it's funny, the association between you and Saeed was that one of the speakers often calls what's apparently or the appearance of unconditional love just simply the meeting of needs. That the me's world is need, is going after something, and yeah, that there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm.
I mean, as it just is also what's happening.
Yes, there is only what's happening. Whatever
Yeah.
is happening is that.
Does anything come up around that? Like the meeting of needs thing? Does anything come up?
Mm. Not really, no. No. Needs. I mean, it depends what kind of need we're talking about. Obviously, there can be the appearance of a neurotic need coming from an illusory self-center. And there can also be the appearance of basic human needs or, organism needs, the nervous system, the body needing safety and shelter and warmth, food, and yeah.
When you say there can be a difference.
Well, there's an apparent difference, which is also part of an illusion. I mean, there's no real differences when there's no separation. But in terms of speaking,
Yeah.
there can be the appearance of needing food. The body might need food. That does not depend on a separation sense. It doesn't depend on a sense of a center
Yeah.
to appear. But the neurotic need of the self-center needing to fill it up to get enough, that's a dream. That's the complete dream. There's someone that needs something to happen to make this whole again, to make it complete and fulfilled for me.
You know how you speak about the angsty, kind of just the angsty energy,
Mm.
like that feeling of all those things that never really get met or fulfilled is ultimately just sort of the angsty energy of the me in failure, the me failing, like the me not getting it right, or the me not achieving, or I don't know, it just feels like, and again, I mean this so innocently, but the energy of not getting it or not doing it right or not whatever is just seems like it's the sort of the basis of the me in so many ways.
Might seem to be the underlying theme for a seeking story is
Sure.
never being good enough, never being complete enough, whole enough, fulfilled enough.
Which no, there's no one
No,
doing
no.
that. I mean, what? Yeah. Alexis, will you talk again a minute about how there are no things?
Oh, there are no things.
Yeah. Should I give you a little more to go on? Like when we're talking about things like cause and effect, or, and how you say that cause and effect is basically has to have a between and a subject object. And
It needs two separate things, yeah, one called cause, the other called effect.
yeah,
And it needs solidity and separation. So cause and effect is an interpretation from a separate dream, a separate artificial dualistic dream. That's how the dream interprets cause and effect. Sorry, that's how the separate reality interprets this. It's interpreting this as a cause and effect reality. Can't not interpret it that way.
And actually, it isn't. Like there is no thing.
No,
Is what
there's
you said.
nothing. Yeah, all there is nothing being everything. It's nothing being this, what is,
Yeah.
which is not really thingable. So this isn't appearing as things really. There's no things really. There's just emptiness being everything that's appearing to happen. And there's no real separation or distance or relativity. There's no real things that are bouncing off of each other, changing and shifting, causing, affecting, influencing. There's no things that are really interacting with each other. This cause and effect implies interaction, an action between two things, but there are no things that are actually interacting with each other. It's just all of this is empty. It's totally empty, and it's not driven by anything, and it's not really separate. Nothing is. There's not even an it to be not separate.
It's not navigable, or
Sorry?
it's not navigable.
There's no one and nothing to navigate this, and this isn't a thing to be navigated. Yeah.
Will you end the meeting if you're not feeling well?
Yes, but it's okay. It's okay. Doesn't seem too strenuous for the body to talk about nothing and to listen to nothing.
And is there an associated appearance to nothing? I don't know, you could say everything, but
There's no association if there's no separation. So nothing is not a thing that can be associated with anything else. It's all there is.
yeah,
There's nothing to relate to nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, just when Maureen was talking about nothing, this sorry, somebody called. A funny thought came into mind where that like the knowing nothing, the nothing is also like it's it never it's it never it's like empty thing as well because it always falls back on itself. It's like empty from inside. Never has a ground to stand on. So that's also like just nothing appearing and disappearing is a never has any.
Yes, there is only nothing
Yeah,
appearing.
yeah,
So there's no foundation to nothing. There's no layers to nothing. There's no dimensions to nothing. There is only absolutely nothing, which is all
nothing.
this.
Yeah, yeah. Everything is like empty. Yeah,
Actually, there is only emptiness, nothing else other than emptiness and nothing being emptiness, just emptiness, which is
yeah, yeah. Well, you think that seeker thinks that he will know nothing will like the
right, which is
yeah,
nothing appearing as an idea about what nothing could be.
could be, yeah. But what I'm saying is the knowing will it it cannot know because it will
No.
be too, yeah. But it also
Knowing never gets anywhere because there isn't really any.
knowing, yeah, yeah.
So no one even knows that. Anything that gets uttered and said and spoken and listened to and heard and thought about and conceptualized. No, there's no knowing in any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, me can jump around and say, I know that I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. 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 I was going to say it is beautiful in a sense that you don't, there's no contraction for anything to happen or anything to say or contemplate or anything like that. There's the unknowing. It's very, in a way, it's very calming kind of. Not that this is something that's calming, then that you have to hold on to it, but
Mm.
there's already no burden on anything to know anything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Needless freedom is equanimous. Has
yeah,
no need for anything.
yeah,
Already complete.
yeah.
That's all there is, folks. Thanks. Much love.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alexis. It was
Thank
lovely.
you.
Lots of love.
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis.